and welcome. This is Kevin, also known as AWOL, and we're back with another one of these creations. This was inspired from the picture that I made the pattern for. That was 26 strings coming down, and then I did it with 24. This time around, I did it with 16 strings coming down, so there's 8 on either side. So if you're looking for the template to be able to do this kind of stuff yourself, it would be an 8-string, because there's 8 strings on it going up and into the loop. So was it easier making it smaller? Well, it was faster. I did it in just under 90 minutes, so that was kind of cool. In some ways, yeah, I guess it was easier. It gets itself into a nice little repeating rhythm of where you kind of work out to the right and then build up the left a little bit, and then it comes down to the right again, and that just repeats, which is really nice. So if you're interested in trying to do some segmented knotting, watch how I do it. It worked out really excellent. Of course, like always, the beginning part always kind of doesn't look as much like the segmenting part as once you kind of get it going, but that's all about just kind of laying down the groundwork and getting it started. Like I said, once it gets going, it becomes much easier. There was a spot where I made a mistake, but that's not because the pattern was so hard. That's because I was paying too much attention to the movie that was playing and not watching what I was doing properly. So yeah, that happened. I'm not sure if you'll get to see much of that in the video because I backed out the whole row and fixed the spot where it was, because I suddenly realized, like, nope, 2 of the background rows perfectly behind each other. Yeah, like that's not right. So it didn't take me long to figure out it was wrong, and it was an easy fix. So yay. It's always so much better to know immediately that you've made a mistake than to have gotten several rows down and then you suddenly see it. Obviously that would be much bigger of a problem, but yeah, we didn't have that at all. I like this pattern. I like the notion of how this pattern kind of works. Like it's very repetitious. It feels like it keeps going on and like, am I even there yet? Like, yeah, that totally happened. But using my little clicker, I was able to keep track of how many times it makes that little bump out thing on the right hand side, which helped me to figure out like when the end was coming. Mind you, for me, and I don't know if this is an ADHD thing or whatever, like I have to recount several times over because sometimes I get excited and I forget to do the click. So yeah, that's sort of less than helpful if you're not reliable with that sort of thing. But it did help me to make sure that, like, as I was getting closer to the end, to double check my work, to make sure that, you know, I wasn't going longer than necessary. And you really don't want to go longer because both the darkest color, that kind of grayish color, and the deep red color, both of those strings get used up a lot. And in fact, like there's enough for my tassels, but really, like they end shortly after that. Like they were getting it really kind of close. So just kind of a heads up there in case you're the kind of person who likes to try to make the strings end up really close. Yeah, those get used a lot. The background color, not so much. Like those were still nice and long, and they kind of exchange here and there anyways, kind of naturally. I didn't go out of my way to like kind of push them off in one direction or another. Again, because I cut my strings in thirds of a skein, I don't have to worry about the length so much. As long as I keep within my template patterns, I can pretty much do whatever without having to worry about the string running out. So that's kind of one of the nice benefits about figuring out your own template and you know, the strings that you use. So there you go. Yeah, so you can see, like, right, it is super repetitive. It's just gonna keep doing the same thing, and it's hard to even tell like where we are in the pattern because it just keeps repeating. But that's okay. It's at the end of the day, the finished thing looks amazing. It really does. And I'm kind of inspired here. Like, so we went from 24 to 16. I think we can do it in 12, right? Like this, we went from kind of hard to easier to why not make it easier still? So I'm not sure how much of that outer shape we will get with it, but I want to try it. I think it could look pretty cool, even smaller still, because the point of interest is those little S-shaped things that are running down the middle anyways. So if, like, I'm pretty sure they fit inside of a 12 string bracelet. Well, 6 colors going into the loop, right? So I'm pretty sure it would fit. And if it does, I think it's worth trying. You know, we're kind of running with take a pattern and try it in all different kinds of ways. Why not, right? I think it'd be cool. So yeah, I mean, I didn't have anything else better to work on, so yeah, we'll do that tomorrow. We'll see how that goes. I really honestly think it could be pretty neat though. Again, my only question is, what about the third color? Will it reduce it down to where it's only 2, or can we still have 3 colors in the pattern? That's going to be an interesting make to see, because at some point it can't work, right? There's some point you can't have the outside color in it, and I'm not sure where that line is. But yeah, this is really cool. If you're looking for a pattern that's a little bit, you know, intermediate, not too terrible, this is definitely a pattern for you. Obviously, I don't recommend knots that have to zigzag a lot to the beginners. I feel like that's the one place where they're more prone to make a mistake. So yeah, once you can master this, I'd pretty much say you're beyond beginner skills. Call yourself an intermediate if you can do this, and then it opens up a lot of cool patterns for you. Mind you, I don't think most people stay beginners for that long. I think once you sort of get the gist of how to keep your tension nice, how to get nice straight rows, yeah, you're already on your way to intermediate. So kind of, I don't know if I really addressed how I kind of rate these things, because I have like different groups, right? Like there's the beginner, intermediate, and advanced. Not a lot of things really fall under advanced unless they are crazy difficult, and they can here and there. They do exist. I'm sure though that for the most part, most of my things aren't labeled as advanced. So it is what it is. Hang on, I need to thank my YouTube members, not subscribers, my YouTube members, because they help to actually make all this stuff possible. Buying a bunch of string and having all this equipment definitely costs money, and their contributions to the channel helps make all that stuff happen. So thank you guys very much. If you want your name listed, it's easy. It's the join button down next to subscribe on YouTube. It's about $5 a month. Well, it's $5 Singapore, so it's like $4 in the US per month to become a member. You can join, and then yeah, you get all kinds of cool perks like patterns early, videos early, hangouts on the first Sunday of the month. There's more stuff. I can't remember it all. There's more stuff. Oh, there's little things that go next to your name when you're in the live stream. It's little smiley faces that shows that you're a member, which is pretty cool. But yeah, really appreciate it if you did join. That'd be awesome. So yeah, as you can see, like, I've seriously just gotten into a routine of repeating this pattern over and over. It's got like 10 of the little segments on the right hand side, the little 3 light colored background color. So yeah, it just keeps repeating itself, and then it kind of tapers in. So at that point, I really had to look at the pattern to make sure that I got the taper in like how I had started it, which kind of is important to me. I like the symmetry when it works out like it does on the paper. So but the rest of it, I was just able to just go with it. Like it really, once you get the thing going, you don't need the patterns as much, which is nice. Oh, here's where, for some odd reason, one of the strings just got itself into a knot, like way up in the middle. Like that was definitely weird. So yeah, there's a little pause for me to undo the knot. It was like right in the middle of the string too. Like it didn't make sense, like how it just got there. But yeah, I don't like when there's a knot in the string, because when you're pulling it through, it catches. So yeah, I'm sure it probably doesn't hurt anything. Oh, I watched the thing. Yeah, I don't think that I think on the bigger one, you know, that's where I kind of got it figured out, like how to do this pattern easily. The dark color, right? It goes 2 knots past the dark one, and then on the third one, it goes to the right and then left. Just knowing that makes it really easy that you don't have to worry about it. You know, the next row down, it goes 2 past, and then the dark one comes over. It's the same as before, so it felt very familiar as I was getting into this. The only thing that was really different is it didn't go so far out on the edges. But yeah, it's, if you did the other pattern first, you'll definitely think this one's a lot easier. And like I said, if we can make it easier still, well, why not try that? Because I think that'll be fun as well. What else can I tell you? Okay, so I do this segmented. The way that I do it isn't necessarily like the only possible way of doing it. It's just, for me, I think this was the easiest, but I don't want to discourage people who find it easier to do it differently, right? There's a lot of people who give tutorials that make it sound like their way is the only way, and if you aren't doing it their way, you're doing it wrong. And I do not like those type of tutorials. I don't like that type of you know, I don't know. There's ways, if you are more comfortable doing it your way, then you should be doing it your way. And yeah, there is no definitive, this is the right way and the only way or anything on any of this kind of stuff. And mind you, a lot of the tutorials that I've seen that kind of thing on aren't necessarily bracelet related, but the tone, I definitely don't have an appreciation for that kind of way of teaching, because it just, no, that's not right. So yeah, that's just my viewpoint. if you want that kind of teaching, I guess I'm not really the best suited for it, because the way I hold my string, I've seen people who can hold the bracelet with 2 fingers and then use everything else to continue knotting it, so they don't even need a clipboard, right? Could I tell them that, you know, they're wrong, they should use a clipboard? No. You know, if they can manage to do something that I can't, good for them, you know. I can tell you a clipboard's a lot easier, and I can tell you putting it onto an easel makes it easier still, but that doesn't mean that the people who do it differently are wrong. I will say that using tape helps to put sticky gummy stuff on the fabric, and that when you remove it, it's more likely to have dirt and stuff stick to it. So the clip is better than the tape. But I won't say that you can't use tape, because I know there's people out there who do, right? I can say that there's benefits to a clip. You don't have to keep buying more clips. They just last almost indefinitely. So yeah, there's certain dialogue that I just don't care for, and that's when they act like it's definitively their way is the only way. So just so you know, if you want to do a little bit different, you need a little bit of help, I will still help you, even if you're not doing it exactly the same way I do. There you go. Yeah, you know, when I get into these videos, I never know what I'm going to talk about, right? I kind of wing it and realize that, you know, there are things to be said if given the microphone for a little while. So here I am, having fun. I wish I knew how far down this was. I can't. Oh, there it is. It's nearing the end. That was the partial row down at the end of it. So there we go. We're almost there, guys. And I do show off the back of it in the reveal part, because it actually turned out kind of cool. Because I was doing the same things the same way as I came down, it makes the back of the bracelet actually look pretty cool. So a little something for you to look forward to. Kind of maybe pause it, check it out. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to try to do this in a 12 string instead, just to see how that works out, because I think that'll be kind of cool. So getting near the end. Yeah, and I did really like this one a lot. I know that I tend to shy away from patterns that repeat themselves a lot, but this one was pretty cool. I liked it. I like the end result, I guess, most. So, all right, guys. Well, thanks for hanging out with me once again, as always. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. Just, you know, you made it this far, might as well, right? And then, yeah, as always, don't get your strings in a bunch.